Welcome to this book from the Charles Fraser-Mackintosh Special Collection at Inverness Library. This collection was brought together by local MP, lawyer and antiquarian Charles Fraser-Mackintosh in the 19th century and was gifted to the town of Inverness by his widow Evelyn May in 1921.
This book is Mackenzie's Guide to Inverness, published in 1893. It's been signed by the author and gifted to Fraser-Mackintosh. Alexander Mackenzie was an Inverness publisher and friend and political ally of Fraser-Mackintosh, and this book includes a tour of principal buildings and places of interest in Inverness. The tour starts here at the townhouse, the Exchange and the original site of Inverness Public Library. The town steeple was built in 1791, originally with an adjoining jail and courthouse. The spire was struck by lightning in the early 19th century and was badly twisted, and a painter called Jamie Lazy helped restore it.
The book tells us that there's an unsurpassed view from Castle Hill. Mackenzie points out the River Ness, the canal, the Murray and Bewley Firths and Ben Wyvis. He also points out Craig Fadrick and Craig Denane, under the shelter of which was the prominent Inverness District Lunatic Asylum, at that time with 500 to 600 inmates, no longer asylum but now turned into flats. I couldn't film from Castle Hill because the castle is currently being redeveloped. In a few years' time it will be an amazing tourist destination, and the views from there, now obscured a little bit by trees, but they are still fabulous.
This is the High Street. Faith, Hope and Charity, which are noted here to be in Orkney, are now in Inverness by the river. And we're looking here at the Caledonian Bank, opened in 1838, and the site of the Young Men's Christian Association buildings, the ground floor of which was a Royal Tartan warehouse. The monument commemorating the officers and men of the 79th Queen's Own Highlanders who fell in the Egyptian campaign was sculpted by George Wade and erected in 1892. We can see here the Station Hotel, and then over the road the Royal Hotel on the corner of Union Street. Union Street, the book tells us, was a beautiful thoroughfare erected on the site of insanitary hovels by 4 citizens, including our own Fraser-Mackintosh, in the early 1860s. Then back on Academy Street we go past the New Markets, the Royal Academy, the Free East Church and the Foundry.
We are then guided back into the town centre past Greyfriars Churchyard, which features in the video on the book Invernessiana, and we eventually come to Church Street.
There were a lot of churches on Church Street. Here, the High Church and the Gaelic Church, which is now a renowned bookshop. In 1668, Provost Dunbar bequeathed this building to the town as a hospital. Then it became the Borough Grammar School and was also used for various other things.
Dunbar's Hospital also features in the video on the book of Invernessiana. And as well as being a hospital and then a school, it was also a female school, female work society rooms, and it was used for the borough fire engines. And at the time of writing, Mackenzie says that it was used for the sale of beer and as the headquarters of the Lodge of Good Templars. One of the other special collections at Inverness Library, the Kirk Session Library, was housed here for a time.
Mackenzie's guide then takes us towards Ness Walk, past the cathedral and in the background the castle. As the tour comes to an end, Mackenzie describes the islands, the loveliest sylvan retreat which no visitor to Inverness should fail to see. The farthest of the islands is a mile from where the Exchange was, and Mackenzie describes how during the last century the town council had entertained dignitaries to sumptuous banquets here with salmon freshly caught from the Ness.
The most interesting thing about this book is the demonstration of rapid development in Inverness in the 19th century, but we can see that by the time this book was published in 1893, the Inverness we know and love today had been pretty much shaped.